Yes, I'm still using the old Nebula Model 2 emulator and not, excuse me, not MAME, which I'm sure is better for accuracy. But do you guys really see anything wrong with this one? Let me know. Let me know if something looks off or seems wrong. I've played a lot of Daytona and I haven't really noticed anything that looks different from the arcade. I mean, the screen's really faded, but that's true on a lot of Model 2 games, and I think that has something to do with matching it to like a high contrast, like low refresh rate, arcade CRT. That also means the game runs at like 57 hertz or something. It's one of those kind of things. Anyway, I'm gonna jump right into it and play some classic Daytona for a while, and I'm just gonna kind of casually kick it here with a couple of racing games today. I'm gonna do an easy one for a change and just have a good time. Play some Daytona, play some Daytona 2. Maybe we'll even play the weird Dreamcast one later, I don't know. I don't like it as much. I don't think anyone does. Genki are pretty cool sometimes. I don't know. I feel like they hit gold twice with Tokyo Extreme Racer 1 and 2 on the Dreamcast, but I did not care for their Daytona, and I did not care for Sega GT very much. I liked it originally, but when I go back and play it, I'm like, this controls like dog shit. So I don't know. I'd highly recommend, even though it's harder to set up, I recommend emulating the arcade version of this game over playing the Dreamcast game, which is just, I mean, it's fine. It's just a different game. Daytona 2017 is also just a different game, but if you want to do that, that's with the Techno Parrot. I don't want to call it, I hesitate to call it an emulator, because it is or is not an emulator, depending on what you're doing. Compatibility layer wrapper, I would say, with that game, because that's just like a Windows or Linux game or something. But it also supports System 246, which is just straight up PS2 emulation, so that's why things got weird with Technopads. Like, all of a sudden, now you guys really are doing emulation. Alright. I mean, parts of a compatibility wrapper are going to be described as emulation anyway. Fucking dickhead. That really, really effectively blocked me. I think I have the time set pretty easy, so I can actually finish races and see how I do. But the answer's not great. Probably won't hit the top 10, let alone the podium finish. 15th it is. I'll give it a few shots though, before moving on to the even harder tracks. 15. Oh, this is not easy to enter because of the way the controls work. T-E-C. Here we go again. Please choose manual. Gentlemen, start your engine. to slow down in that turn. I'm screwing myself up real bad there. Lost 2 spots off that alone. A lot of progress gone. Here we go again. I've lost a lot of stability here. Game that already has real touchy controls the way it's set up. And that may be where MAME might really beat it out. Like maybe the analog control is a lot better, and can almost certainly be adjusted a lot better. Really struggled there. Nope, still the same, even with much better effort, I felt like. Dang, let's try one more time here. Before changing tracks or anything.
Now, list your name with the other champion. Please select a race course. Beginner. Please choose manual or automatic transmission. Gentlemen, start your engine.
This time we'll try first person, or hood cam. Oh, this is a little nerve-wracking because of how twitchy it is. Although it might be just as twitchy behind the wheel in the arcade, I don't know. Holy shit.
White flag is out. This is the final lap.
I mean, I don't think the results lie. I did place better. But man, that's nauseating to do because of how twitchy it is that way, too.
Now, list your name with the other champion.
Alright, let's move on to the next track. This is a more complex track, so it might be even harder to do in first person. I might try it, but I'm going to start off with a regular zoomed out view, see how it goes. So I can get a feel for this. Maybe not a good start there. Straight up losing. Shit. I was doing so good. That's how they get you. You get completely locked in into the zone and then something insane happens. That's arcade racing for you. That went very poorly. I think I need to pit. I don't think pitting is probably ever a good idea. I think if this happens, you're probably beyond screwed. But pretty fun to do anyways, since my car's all beat to hell. The only time this probably ever makes sense to do at all is like, you know, in endurance mode. You kind of probably have to a little bit. We might do... Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do endurance mode now. I might do that in a different stream, but probably just do some individual attempts here. This one went sadly, though. That's where I had my big wreck before. I do not understand. I guess I'm going to have to slow down a lot there. I'm not going to make it. I still didn't finish in last. See? Even after pitting, that was my goal. Not come in 20th.
Please select a race course. Advanced. Please choose mathematical. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Struggling a lot there. The first part I did really well this time, but the second part was not good. Ken going into the grass over there. Really struggling with that. Didn't quite finish. Getting close though, getting close to finishing it.
Please select a race course. Advanced. Please choose mathematical.
So, fun fact, a lot of Sega racing games use mixed frame rate elements depending on what they're showing. For example, if you were to capture the Saturn port of this game and check the frame rate, you'd be like, oh, that runs at 30 frames a second. But it doesn't really. Just the sky drop does, the background, the skybox. It updates at 30 frames per second, but the polygons update at 20. So it's kind of deceptive. Same thing, if you were to check the frame rate on the arcade version of Outrun, it would look like it was 60 frames a second. But really, it's made up of two elements. Screen rastering the road effects in the skybox, and then the sprite scaling of all the sprites that are moving towards you. And each of those updates at 30 frames per second, but it's like the opposite frame. So again, if you check the frame rate, it would show 60, but it really feels like 30, and it is more like 30. I think once they got past System 32 and started doing Model 1 and Model 2, frame rates became a little more consistent on their games. I want to say all this Model 2 stuff runs at 57 Hertz or something. Much like Virtua Fighter, I'm sorry, let's say Virtua Racing. This game is like everywhere. I think this is even more common than Virtua Racing, which probably means that you could get one really cheap at some point. I don't know if that's still true, but it was a big old game that was real common that a lot of people would want to move out. Yeah, you could probably, if you tried to get one at the right time, you probably could have gotten if you can move this thing, it's yours type situation. Especially if there's anything broken or wrong with it, you can get one pretty easily. Finding other Model 2 ROMs and doing conversions would be a lot more work, especially since it's going to have, racing game hardware only for controls and everything else. But the deluxe, double sit-down cabinet, head-to-head ones are really common. Every movie theater I went in had them, every arcade had them, every mall. I feel like if I went to a movie theater now, I would not at all be surprised to see a Daytona USA machine. It wouldn't be unusual or anything. I wonder when the last time I noticed one was. Shit. Again, 12th place and losing right before the finish line. That's frustrating. I guess we might as well check out the last track since I'm kind of performing about the same in all these. Definitely don't expect to finish this, even though it's only 2 laps. This is a really cool course though, classic. All of these are really, these are the classic Daytona USA right here. That wasn't good. Uploaded some more Tekken 8 last night, some replays from recent playing. Played some Xiaoyu, didn't go very well. You can watch me get my ass beat pretty solidly. I had some good rounds though, especially towards the end. And when I'm capturing replays on PlayStation, they only let you record an hour worth of stuff, so I didn't quite get to where I was really turning it around a little more, but I was turning it around after a little while. I don't feel completely discouraged just playing as her, but she'll never be a main, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm playing Paul or Law or somebody that I'm really comfortable with, or Nina. I do have some video of me playing as Nina on there, and I do well with her, because she's Nina. And Paul, I do pretty well with him. He's Paul. I'll get a Law video up at some point. And then maybe we'll branch out and try some others that I'm comfortable with, but not like super good with, like Xiaoyu. Oh, and I'll have to do Brian at some point as well. Brian was one of the people that particularly was beating on me last night. I'm good with Brian myself though, but more comfortable using him than Xiaoyu for sure. But I'm going to try some that are really outside of my normal wheelhouse, as well as some that are like stuff that I, characters I use all the time, or have been using for mini games and know their bread and butter attacks and can easily build off of that. So I'm going to finish this race easily compared to the other one, but on time, but I'm going to place even worse. Maybe not easily on time, but it feels like I'm doing alright. I feel like I had this on Xbox 360 also, and maybe that was a really good version. I don't know if that's still available. If it is, then and you have an Xbox and it's backwards compatible, then that would be super cool, but it feels like the kind of thing that would be delisted because I didn't want to pay the Daytona license or something. In fact, I want to say that Daytona USA 2 is called like Power Racing 2 or something like that on Yakuza. I want to say that they didn't license Daytona, and they did strip some references and maybe even change music and stuff, who knows. And that's a bummer. Where are we at on this, though? Alright. Half hour. I was going to give each game about an hour. Give each game about an hour. And I wish I could do more. I'd probably do the endurance modes if I was gonna, but still an hour is good for each one. I'll have fun here. Let's just start cycling them. Beginner, advanced, expert. Beginner, advanced, expert. That's how you get a feel for them. Just drive them all. Don't bother practicing one of them over and over again. That's for nerds. Not a great turn. $15th as always. Right where I belong.
15. Now, list your name with the other champion. Please select a race course. Advanced. Please choose one. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Not so great there. Shit.
The white flag is out. This is the final lap.
I've made some pretty crappy mistakes here. It's always going to be 12th, not quite crossing the finish line on that one.
Please select a race course. Expert. Please choose manual or automatic transmission. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Not right. Yeah, a little late for that advice, buddy. Could have used that one a second ago.
The white flag is out. This is the final lap.
Shit. We fucked that up. Oh. Oh, well. I think we might have to redo this one. Maybe not. It's about as well as I was gonna do anyway. Fuck it. I think car handles so poorly now. Insane. Again, forgetting to slow down there at the space shuttle corner.
You placed 22nd.
Well, damn.
Please select a race course. Beginner. Please choose.
One more regular attempt and one more hood cam weird attempt on everything, probably. Then we'll move on to what you guys really want to see. Daytona 2. A bit more of a rarity. I'm sure you've all seen plenty of Daytona in your lifetimes. Still fantastic to play though. You can fire this up and have fun with it anytime, really. Great game. I'm not great at it, as I mentioned in the note, but doesn't stop me from having fun anyway. little bit worse than normal. With a little bit of practice, I can do just a little bit worse. Good job.
Now, list your name with the other champion.
No. No. I ran out of time there too, so I got that last letter in. Alright. Recycle it, don't trash it. Because by this point, winners were using drugs. Things had changed. The whole game had changed. The guy who told us not to do drugs retired in disgrace for corruption. Corruption that I would also point out is so minor compared to what is normal now, like just normal behavior for government officials. So, pretty funny. I was coming into this turn perfectly, and then something weird happened, and then I wasn't coming into it perfectly. I really screwed that up. I am in not great shape. I think pitting is a tragically bad idea, though. My car is just, like, it doesn't even work. It's so torn up. Just fix it and let me drive, you pieces of shit. First place is about to cross the finish line here. So rounds this corner and does this straight. There it goes. Race is actually over. I actually think I have the controls down on Power Edition a little better, and I don't know if that comes down to the emulator and the way it translates to a controller, or if it's just a better controlling game, but I think, I feel more like, it's my fault, you know, like when I fuck up in that game, whereas this one, it's like, I actually don't know how to make that turn. I don't know how to do that without just, like, slowing to a crawl. You can always use the slowing to a crawl strategy.
Please choose manual or automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Am I? No. I mean, very clearly not. My car's obviously just trashed. I love how he tells me that once I'm in the turn. Like, once I'm already hitting the wall. You should really watch out for that turn. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, there we go. How's that for a drift?
The white flag is out. This is the final lap.
very poorly.
You place
Crazy bad.
20 seconds.
I kind of want to do them again in first person, but I don't want to spend too much time on the first game. I want to move on to the second one. That's what you guys want to see, right? That's the rare and weird shit. So let's go ahead and swap it over here. Give me just a second here and I'll get this going. I'll be right back. Thanks for watching. All right. You guys ready for this exciting stuff? This is a really awesome game. Um, And I don't think I've ever seen it in real life. I've seen Scud Racer in real life under the name that it had in the U.S., which was, fuck if I can remember. But I don't think I've seen this like once. It was really rare. Let's do the easy car on the easy track. Easy automatic handling, easiness. With everything being easy. Rolling start too. There we go. Oh, that's terrifying. Here we go. The camera buttons are slightly different. Nothing maps perfectly exactly the same. So, oh man, the controls are better, and I'm trying to get used to it. Also, while the Dreamcast Daytona does have a bunch of tracks, none of them are from this game. This would have been so much better to get on Dreamcast than what we got. Like, it's almost frustrating to think about. That was one time where Sega, I feel like, kind of did us dirty. Just straight up. Final lap, right? Not bad. Despite the rough start.
Your place, 13th. Game over! Now, list your name with the other champions.
Oh, it's so much easier to enter my name. No, sort of. Mostly easier.
Select the race course.
We get three courses here? That's mix. I don't even know what that is. Stick with the easy car every time on this one, then we'll do normal cars. Try all the cars too, yeah. This game is cool, but I don't like it as much as Scud Racer. But it's still really good. Like, it's in that ballpark, so, you know, amongst the best racing games that Sega ever made, therefore amongst the best arcade racing games ever made. Pretty solid, I'd say. Pretty solid pedigree. These course designs are wild too. They just went crazy with like fantasy ideas, sci-fi and horror and everything on this track. Oh man, that's cool. Oh, come on. I did pretty well there. Why are they punishing me so hard? There we go. So Supermodel's been like ported to other stuff now. It's on Android, I think. There's a lot of fun to be had here. You should really get a Supermodel set up for real. It's Sega's finest hour, man. It's their best shit. All these games still look so good too, especially upscaled. I mean, it's really good looking games. They hold up to modern games visually just because the art design is that strong, I think. Yet at the same time, not really that technically crazy. We could have had this stuff on the Dreamcast if somebody put the work into it, you know? For real. I really think we could have. I really don't know what mix is. It's gonna be weird and I want to try it. Oh yeah, city streets. Look how detailed this shit is too. Yeah, this has been a good Sega weekend. Did some Sonic the Hedgehog 2 the other day. Couldn't beat it. Last boss is awful. I don't really understand how all that works. Maybe we'll revisit that in the future when I do. Great game though. All the action platforming levels up to that point were really fun. Definitely some challenging stuff in there, but good variety. Really good variety in that game. It's smarter for them to do less of each level type, but like more level types, you know what I mean? Instead of having 3 acts per stage, they have more stages with like 2 acts or 1 act sometimes. I think there's like maybe there's like 1 stage that has 3 acts or something, but most of them have less. And I think that's more, it kind of set the standard there for how they did them in 3 and Mania and stuff like that too, maybe a little bit, as well as having the bonus stages on the checkpoints instead of at the end of the stage. Man, fuck you guys. This is a really fun track, actually. Yeah, this game's fun and controls great. Really, like, this is a good pick up and play with a regular controller game. You should give it a shot. I don't know if it's still a nightmare to configure controls in Supermodel, hopefully not. Once you get them set up, this game plays really tight. God, I'm getting passed by everyone now. That sucks. I think a lot of that's vehicle damage. Starting to add up. Goal.
Your place, 9th. Game
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, list your name with the other champions. T. E. C.
Let's see what mix is. I don't remember this. Let's find out.
Please select the level of the car. Easy level car. Please choose manual automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines.
So it looks like we're starting on intermediate here. Is it just a random select and a gaming intermediate? That seems silly. Randomize one of 3 tracks. And that's such a big part of what you're doing. I don't know, that just seems wild to me. Wait. Is it combining all the tracks together to form one super track? This is just a gigantic mega track. This is awesome. Never mind. This is super cool. And weird. Yeah, it's fucking whack that you can't just buy this game on PS5 right now. That is a failure on Sega's part. They buried it in some Yakuza game. I don't want to play that fucking game. I don't want to just fucking even bother to figure out enough about Yakuza to find my way to an arcade in it right away to play the game. Like, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do whatever crap is involved anytime I'd want to fire it up and play it. I just don't want to do any of that. Why can't you just sell me all the Daytona games in a package, you dumbasses? Amazing.
Goal.
Fifth, alright, that's fun. The big wild track. That's crazy.
Place. Fifth.
Alright, time to try the more advanced car.
Now, list your name with the other champions. T. E. C. Reselect the race course.
Oh, hell yeah.
Beginning. Reselect the level. Normal level bar. Automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Hell yeah.
Goal.
Shit. Not as well as the first time, right? I don't think.
Your
Oh well.
is 10. Game over. Now,
That
list your
yellow
name with the
hood
other
flapping up and down. Car going down the road looking like Pac-Man. What the fuck?
Reselect the race course. Advance. Reselect the level. Normal level bar. Please choose automatic.
The widescreen acts do work well with this game, by the way, as long as you're not a purist. I mean, the only issue being that these HUD elements are still centered within 4.3. Other than that, even the menus look surprisingly solid. Everything else kind of scales in an interesting way. It opens up your field of view a bit. Make sure to get scraped up right away. Again. I don't even know where to let up my speed at, I think. This has been a lot of scraping. Oh yeah, before I turn this computer off, I need to see if I can nab a copy of Unreal 98 off of Archive or something. I'm sure I have one around here, but doing all the conversion myself seems like a pain in the ass. For a game I haven't played since 1998, to get it off of discs and then updated from oldunreal.com and all that. But I would like to do a stream of Unreal. I don't even know what old Unreal supports, or does it let me use a controller now? That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I don't have to. I can do a mouse and keyboard, I don't care. I would like to do a stream of that. I'm gonna do that and Quake 2 and kind of contrast and compare. Even with a remaster, Quake 2 is not gonna look as good as vanilla Unreal graphics, in my opinion. It's just having high color textures makes such a huge difference over the 8-bit color texture limitations of the Quake 1 engine. Quake 2 otherwise being a fine looking game for its time, just a bit muddy is all. A bit dark and muddy.
Normal level bar. Please choose automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines. 3, 2, 1.
Oof. Oof. Yikes. It's interesting that instead of it being 40, 30, 20, it's 40, 20, 30 from easy, medium, advanced. It doesn't follow the normal progression of having less cars like the first one does. It in fact has more cars than the medium tracks. This game is the very definition of Sega Blue Skies. Everything is so brightly lit and cheerfully perfect weather.
Goal! Your place, 17. Game over! Now, list your name with the other champions. T. B. C.
Alright, just checking the time here, seeing what I can do. Here we go.
Select the race course.
Oh yeah, the Mega Mix. I didn't do the Mega Mix yet, right?
Select the level, normal level car. Please choose automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines.
You bastard, why'd you have to be broke down right where I was? Be dead somewhere else, asshole. This one is a point-to-point, not a lap, so it couldn't have multiple laps if they wanted it to. Oh, I hit the wrong thing there. I read that wrong. I saw that incorrectly.
Goal! Your place, 6th. Game over! Now, list your name with the other champions. T. E. C. Please select the rate. Begin. Please select the level of the car.
This ought to be a tragedy.
Hard level car. Please choose manual automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Probably the best pick for this particular track. Since it's a fast car, it doesn't really matter what the handling's like when they're going in a circle. Oof, a little bit of a CPU desync or something going on here. And the speed's getting shitty. I'll relaunch the game if I have to. Hopefully that's not an issue. Yeah, it looks like it's getting to be an issue though. There's a lot of fucking slowdown. Ugh. For a second there, I feel like it should, and then for a second it won't. Now it seems cool again. Alright, here we go. I just had like this period of bad CPU desync. It's always been an issue for me with Supermodel where I get this weird slowdown. Some games are worse about it. Star Wars is bad about it. Bad enough where I don't feel like I can present a satisfactory stream of it. Because it starts doing it on your first playthrough right away, at least for me. Maybe I should upgrade my software here again. I don't know. But I've definitely had some slowdown problems with it. The issues used to be really bad in Spike Out as well, but I've got that all addressed, I think. I mean, it's probably no more of an issue than it is here on these racing games, which is a pretty rare fucking thing to have happen there. That was weird. I think I just saw a capture artifact too just a minute ago where like some weird bar went across the screen. Don't pit. Not great.
Your place.
Not great at all. The extra speed was lost to the maneuverability. So you can imagine how these other ones are going to go.
List your
Let's do it anyway. I do think I performed best in the beginner car, honestly. With the normal, and I bet the special has the same stats as the normal. I think it's just the Hornet for nostalgia.
Select the race course.
But I'm sure the normal and Hornet are fine, and the other one's great. Even if a little slower, maybe not great to use on the first track.
Select the level of the car. Hard level car. Please choose manual or automatic transmission. Automatic. Gentlemen, start
And
your
then this one I don't think has any use for me. But here we go. I feel like I got a good start for a change, though. Yeah, that wasn't good. You piece of shit. Oh, that's so frustrating. I was right there. I was right there.
Please select the race course. Expert. Please select the level of the car. Hard level car. Please choose automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines.
That's not good. That's not how you want to start. I think I might have to play the Juiced games at some point. They keep coming up in my YouTube feed. I was a PS2 racing aficionado. I played all of that shit. I played all the Need for Speeds and the fucking everything. I played everything, all the Burnouts, all the everything. But Juiced somehow, it seems more like Midnight Club as far as what it is. I just completely missed out on it. It seems like a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for it. Might have some lifestyle and dating sim things in it too, so that's pretty interesting. I might have street challenges and things too, like Tokyo Extreme Racer. I might have to check it out to see exactly what's in it, but it seemed pretty fascinating. I think there's a couple of them. Yeah, I played all the weird stuff too. Even I don't know how Juiced slipped me by. I did play all the Tokyo Extreme Racer games on PS2. Those are good. 3 and 0 were good games. I played Auto Modelista. I hated that game. Took it back right away almost. That game has a terrible feel to it and awful controls. Sure is cool looking. I wish it played as well as it looked. This game's a good example of something that plays as well as it looks. It looks cool, but it is cool. It's like Sega at their finest. Just absolute racing, arcade racing perfection. I'd suggest playing it if you like games that are really fucking cool. If you like games that are super good and fun. And the only thing that tops it is Scud Racer. Either one of these, I mean, you just pick them up and you just can't even like put them down. They're just like, if you like arcade racing games, that's the way I feel. They're just so good. Like, this is something I could do all the time. It's mesmerizing almost. It's so colorful and fast and smooth. I should see if I can get a setup to play Planet Harriers. That's like a Sega game that I've completely missed out on. And also, because it's kind of similar, I should do Rez as well. Rez is a really good game. I would, for Rez, I would just recommend getting the like the current version of it. It's even available in VR. It's on PlayStation. You can get it on VR. I think for PS VR or VR2. I want to say it has two different versions, maybe. I could be wrong about that. But if you're playing it on a screen, that version's great anyway. Res Infinite, I think is what they called it. It's really, really good. There's really not much reason for me to, and unless it's some, a system compatibility thing, you want to play it on a handheld or something, I don't have any real reason to recommend playing the Dreamcast version over playing the PlayStation 4 and 5. I think there's a PS5 native client for it even. It's been updated a few times. It's quite fancy. Yet they didn't fuck with it. It's just in high res and widescreen and super smooth, but it's still just res. Like, it's not like they did something to it and made it bad or in any way. They didn't add or take away any of its content or change any of its music or anything like that. So it's just fantastic. Res is a game I can beat, but the last level and the last boss often like drives me beyond the edge of madness without me actually beating it. So there's something that's got in common with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Good old Sega. They love that shit though. Their approach with Virtua Fighter is like, we're gonna throw in an extra hard boss that you only even get one chance to fight against because we just don't think you can do it, so screw you. It's not that I didn't see it coming, I just couldn't take the turn correctly. I tried. That's causing me to get just totally screwed over at the very end here. Didn't quite make it either. Damn. Alright, one last run through with everybody. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back, and then I'll do one more run through with special on everything, and then we'll wrap it up after that. Man, this game's awesome. It's totally righteous. It's weird that I had that technical problem there for a second. Oh, thanks for... Oh man, my vision's terrible. I used too small of a font on the laptop. Thank you, Valenti Hunt. Thanks for stopping by and checking this out. I know you're not still there, but I'm blind and I didn't see the notifications earlier. I should do something to make people who stop by more noticeable. But thanks for watching, Valenti Hunt, and thanks for anybody else watching today. Yeah, I'm a Daytona player, even though I'm terrible at it. I play any racing game, and every racing game. I love racing games. I love Daytona. I love Ridge Racer. I love Gran Turismo. Oh, and I love rally games. Man, I love rally games. Would anyone want to see that? Let me know if you guys want to see like some EA WRC or Dirt or something. I did Dirt 3 and nobody watched it. Good game though. I could do Dirt 5 or maybe Dirt 4. I don't know if I have that. Dirt Rally, or no, I have Dirt Rally 2 though, with DLC, I want to say, and then EA WRC, which I think was maybe a little unfortunately maligned because it's pretty good. It just has some real problems, is all. I'll be back in just a second. Alright, here we go. We're going to run through each of the 4 races again one more time with the special car, the Hornet. And then after that, I got to wrap it up. Take care of my dogs. I don't think I'll stream anything else tonight, but I don't want to be non-committal on this either way. I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. I also don't know if I'm working tomorrow. I have no idea what's going on there. The streets in my neighborhood aren't clean. They're still filled with a foot of snow. Looks pretty impossible to get anywhere, but I can work from home. That's probably what's going to happen. But can't stream if I'm working from home. If they're just closed again now, which is very possible, then who knows? I'll be on here tomorrow. Jamming on whatever. Might get into Bloody War 2 if you want to do that, or Quake 2, or maybe Unreal. I'll look into the Unreal situation after I take care of the dogs. I'm going to play around with my computer for a little while. This computer that I stream everything from. A little mini PC. All it is a little AMD Ryzen in a box. I'm using the APU's built in, a video card, which is some whatever old ass AMD standard is now. And it works great for most everything. Modern video games, maybe not so much. You'd have to lower the resolution probably more than you'd want to. But at 1.8 teraflops, its performance is similar to an Xbox One, a base Xbox One, a previous generation console, not a Series X, a One. Not the 1X either, not the fancy one or whatever, but just the regular shitty one. Or a base PS4 is pretty close as well, about 1.85 teraflops in that range. So it's still pretty amazing what you can do though. Most GameCube games work well for me. I was shocked that Rogue Squadron 2 did not at all. And no settings changes seem to fix that for me. Some Wii games work okay. Wii games are frustrating to set up. I mostly only have Wii emulation to play a few WiiWare games from Konami that I thought were incredibly awesome. Kind of bits of lost media. The Rebirth series. But we might be able to do more with Wii emulation, I don't know. I'm pretty solid on PS2 though. That's the main thing I was going for when I bought this hardware, was like, I want something that can generally do PS2 games just fine in their original resolution without sacrificing accuracy to where there's a bunch of glitches and shit either. And generally I'm getting that. The color blending's maybe not perfect, but the frame rate's fine, running in the original resolution on most games. Most games could actually be upscaled. Most games can be rendered in software if there are rendering glitches, as long as I'm sticking with the original resolution. So this is almost the exact scale of hardware you need. There's a Ryzen 7 with nothing else, no video card or anything. You can get some PS2 action going on. Now beyond that, I mean, if I really wanted good performance on GameCube or something like that, I'd have to get a video card. It'd have to be an external one because it's a mini PC, so that'd be very expensive. Like with the prices the way they are now, it'd just be even worse. So that's just absurd. Not gonna happen.
Select the race. Advance. Pre-select the level of the car. Hornet Classic. Choose automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Hell, this computer's more expensive now than it was when I bought it a couple years ago. And that's stupid too. Everything about that's dumb. Prices should be going the other way. So they're not. I think the handling on the Hornet is about the same as the normal car, but I'm not sure. Which is just enough to give me a hard time, but not too frustrating. Oh, this is going bad. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing a lot worse with it than I did with the normal car. Now that we're a lap into it here, a few laps into it. Alright. Yeah, I struggled with that almost as much as I did with the hard car, didn't I? Not going well with the old Hornet. Let's try this again.
Select the level of the car. Hornet Classic. Choose automatic. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Oh, whoa, ping pong time. Car will no longer turn. If I hadn't gotten rear-ended, I wouldn't have crossed the finish line. That's really funny. We see how it goes with the Hornet. So for the very last run on this weird mixed track, I'll do the easy car again. We'll see if I've improved even a little bit there. Then I gotta wrap it up, so I gotta take care of the dogs and get some dinner or something. Kind of ate a late breakfast instead of a lunch, so I'm gonna eat early. Here we go. Last attempt. Yeah, not that. Oh yeah, this does handle a heck of a lot easier than the Hornet. These turns are actually fairly simple to do. Yeah, I'm still getting beat up anyway, such is the nature of Daytona. I mean, it's 30 damn cars, you know? Shit. That's what happens if you fishtail too much in too short of a period of time. You just fully spin your car. Doesn't feel like real physics. Definitely feels like a scripted bullcrap video game thing, but I was losing control there one way or the other. Oof.
Goal.
Not bad. Very fun too. These games are great. I mean, everybody knows Daytona USA is great, but not everybody knows Daytona USA 2 is great, or doesn't even know it exists. So it does. I really, really think you should play it. I know that setting up emulators isn't everyone's thing, and up until very recently, Supermodel's been one of the absolute hardest emulators to set up, and was only available on Windows basically. And didn't have, but like things have changed. It has its own UI now that it didn't have at all before. It used to be entirely command line based unless you used like a front end for it. You don't need a front end. You don't need some of the barriers to entry have been taken down there, so it might be a little easier to set up and play. On Android or on other devices as well. So what I'm trying to say here is you should at least look into it, because this game and Scud Racer are so good. You have to play them. They're fantastic. If you like arcade racing games at all, these are the peak of the mountain, man. I don't know what else to say about it. They're great. Really, really awesome stuff. Sega at their finest. Daytona USA. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out, Valenti Hunt, and anybody else who stopped by. If you like action games, check out my channel. I play every type of action game, but especially there's a lot of shooting, driving, and fighting games here. So